quote unquote emotionally attracted to other men and not to women. Yeah, bro, it's a real thing that they've been saying on these nets, boy. They've been saying some crazy stuff on these nets now. I'm trying to get your perspective, bro. Okay, all right, come defend the brotherhood, or sink us, whichever one it is. But I want to get your perspective on this. Like, they said that men find men more, and I don't think it means literally, bro. It doesn't mean literally that they find them attractive. I think what they're saying is that men seem to be more emotionally available and more emotionally connected to their boys than they are to the very women that they date. So what is happening is that men are not able to open up, be vulnerable, safe, express themselves with women, but they do that with their boys. Okay, so this is one of the arguments that have been said of late. So I want to kind of get your perspective on one, do you feel that to be true? And two, if so or not, why do you feel that? You know what I mean? And I'll ask a follow-up question. What do you think about this particular statement? Sorry, I apologize again.
Yeah, I think there may be a little bit of confusion there, to be quite honest, with relatability. Like we can relate with
Mm,
other men better. So I think women may look at that as an emotional connection just because we can relate to men. We go through similar things throughout life. We connect with things throughout life. Um, so yeah, I think that's what it is. I do think that men are very capable of connecting emotionally with their women. It's just it can be an uphill battle. Just speaking for men on our side, it can be an uphill battle because when we're doing things right and things look and feel so good, it seems too good to be true. And I've been in situations like that where people will try to find something wrong, and not enjoy the experience, not take him at his word, not try to connect with him emotionally because the way he's moving with you, it can just seem a little like something's off. Like, man, you haven't met a man like this before. You haven't experienced this before, or came close, but not all the way there. But it's always something that's there that kind of makes you doubt him a little bit. And I think that holds us back too when we see that because we want that openness, we want that complete 100% from our woman, so we can be able to give it to our woman as well. So I think that's what it is. And I think it's a misunderstanding when it comes to that, the difference between relatability and emotional connection.
mm. Do you think men find more safety amongst men than they do with women? I just want to make it specific so we can answer it. Do you feel like men are finding more safety amongst men than they are with their own women? And when I say own women, I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about their own women sometimes, as in the women that they date or women they're courting or women they actually with, married to. Is that the case?
It really depends on what the conversation is about. To be honest with you, I would have to say that because if it's something that is heartfelt, like bones in the closet type of deal, we're more inclined to share that with our male friends than with our women because men at some point in time has gone through a situation where they have been completely open and transparent with the woman about the things that really affect them, like to their core, to their heart. Women understand this, and then when things go left or right, those things come back. Things are thrown back up at them. Not saying it doesn't happen to women as well, but no one enjoys that when something's thrown back in your face, especially something it burns you to your core. To even bring up, to even talk about, to even share, and for that to happen, we don't necessarily get that same thing with the guys because the guys can hear us out and talk to us about it and never mention it again, no matter if we fall out or not. So there's a little bit of a difference there. So it really depends on what type of conversation it is and how hot it is.
Hmm. Love that. David, welcome to the conversation. Good to have you on board, bro. We're asking this key question. You know, there's a statement that's been made nowadays that men are more emotionally attracted to their boys, meaning that they feel more comfortable being more emotional or sharing some emotional aspects of intimacy with their guy friends rather than their actual partners. I want to get your perspective on that. Do you find that statement to be true? Have you seen it before? Is that a false statement? What's your thoughts on that particular aspect?
Um, yeah, hello everyone, and sorry for dropping in late. I'm just
You're good,
it's
bro.
just a time difference. Um, So, yes, I think we do feel a sense of freedom and, no holds barred when we're talking to our guys. Just because there's a conversation you guys had previously talking about differences between men and women, and the truth is we are very different. There's a reason why when you play tennis, the round of the men go longer than that of the women. There's a reason why our hand span for a man is bigger and different from that of a woman's one. And a lot of other differences, our chest, everything is different. So we're different. And when we're talking to our guys, we can talk to them in sort of a free, for lack of a better word, um, locker room kind of conversation kind of thing, whereby we don't feel like we need to culture everything we're saying so that we don't hurt the other person's feeling or they don't take what we're saying out of context. Good example, I'm talking to my wife about the whole red pill and all those conversation manosphere things. And I start talking about all this, SMV, sexual marketplace value, and all these things. And she's just looking at me like, wait, is this what they're indoctrinating you? All those YouTube channels you've been watching, huh? So now my value has depreciated because I have a child, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait. I didn't say that. Oh. I'm just narrating the story. Don't come after me. You see what I'm saying? But if I'm talking to a typical guy, a typical guy is just like, okay, yeah, I can see the perspective. You see what I'm saying? So women oftentimes, like someone said in the comment, take it personal and get into their feelings about what we're saying, but we're just actually making a point. So if you don't want to go through all those hurdles and you're just like, you know what, let me just talk to my homeboy about it. We know what we're talking about. We can relate. And I think it's a very big power as a roundup that a woman has. The fact that you can actually be that person to your man, um, I think is very big power that you can really harness and just understand that, you know what, we talk in different ways. Maybe I can listen the way he's saying and not judge what he's saying.
Appreciate it, David. Thank you very much. Good points there. I love that. Sean, welcome to the conversation. I know you just joined us. I know you're away from natural base, but it's good to have you here, bro. We're talking about obviously intimacy without sex, but the part of the conversation we've reached in, we're asking this question because it's been coming up quite a bit in some spaces. About men feeling more, not literally, this is not a literal statement, men being emotionally attracted to their boys. And what it means is, that men feel more comfortable sharing these intimacies and emotional aspects with their boys rather than the actual girl. You know what I mean? Like, man, are struggling out here, cuz apparently, to share those things with their ladies, but they can share with their boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you apparently men only like women because they're attractive to them, and if women weren't attracted to men, apparently we wouldn't even deal with them. We wouldn't even deal with them if they didn't offer sex. We wouldn't even be involved with them. Apparently, yeah. Apparently, this is what they've been saying about us. So, this is what's been said. On these different particular type of spaces. I won't mention where. But Sean, I want to get your perspective. What's your thoughts of that?
Unfortunately, I'm in Boston and away from my home base, so I don't have enough caps to bring out for this. But Corey, I appreciate your cap. David, I just envision that you have on a cap on the other side of your avatar. But what in the entire hell? Like, I just have no idea where this came from. I think just like we see that women bond with women because there is a commonality, right? Women will gang up and unite up and click up, and before you know it, they're charging up against us guys because they share. There's a shared experience. There is a shared understanding. They, not that all women are the same. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole tonight. But I think that there is something that is, a thread. So the same thing for men, there is a commonality, a shared experience, especially for us men that like women, right? We can, winter, what a breath of fresh air. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. So I think that men bond with men because we have a shared experience. I don't know about this intimacy and emotionally attracted to. I mean, like, I don't understand. Like, every time us guys try to get us a little bit of voice, right? And I get it, the patriarchy, blah, 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 sis, boom, bah. I know it exists, right? So, but men are finding a way to communicate in a different fashion than we're used to. So now it's like we have to be shamed because we come together. You'll hear the women on social media be like, oh my God, who gave these guys a freaking microphone and a podcast? Now they just want to talk. They want to tell us what to do. Well, hey, listen, you wanted us to communicate, and now that's what we're doing. Okay. And we can share some things amongst ourselves, and talk about it. So that's what we're doing. I'm sorry that it may feel like, we might be stepping on a toe or two, but, some of the things that we can relate to, we like to talk about. I'm not attracted to you, Kojo. I'm not attracted to Corey. I'm not attracted to David.
You sure?
I think we can talk about some things that we see in common and some shared experiences that we have. And then sometimes there's balance there. Like, you'll be like, hey, listen, Sean, you're going too far. Jumping off the cliff, right? Or I'll be like, Coach, Corey, hey, listen, this, that, and others. So there is some back and forth. It's not all we sit around and yes each other to death, but we do have a camaraderie is, I guess, my long-winded point.
No worries at all. Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you for sharing that. It's been appreciated. So I'm going to ask the ladies, V, you were nodding your head when I mentioned this statement. So I just want you just to maybe provide a bit more clarity, because I maybe probably didn't explain it very well. So explain it. I've been hearing it, so it's been one of those topics been coming up. So V, just give us a breakdown of what is understood by that, for that perspective. If you can just give a little breakdown of that.
Yeah, I know exactly where it came from. I know exactly who said it. But yeah, they shouldn't have gave some of y'all some mic, straight up. I don't know what to say, but there are some men that if you sit there and listen to them, the same way that they claim that there are some women that hate men and that's all they talk about, and there's no good men. There are some spaces that's all they do. So I believe it's because in those spaces, it seems like since they have so many negative things to say about women, who exactly are they bonding with? Are they having the bonding that they usually would have with women? Whether, for some people, their woman is their safe space. They go home, they've been to women. That's why they have the term pillow talk, right? If you can't stand a woman, right, you can't be around her, everything's wrong with her, who exactly are you pillow talking with? I think that's what it's alluding to. But yeah, I've heard it before. I don't 100% believe it. I know that Jay was in the comments talking about Rome, and that's what I think of sometimes when they're going super hard against the women, because they used to just go to the women to mate, and that was a true statement, but they bonded with each other, and when it was time to have children, they would go to the women. But if you find so many faults with women and you can only bond with men, it comes off that way. But like I said, do I believe it? No. And yes, they need to take some of y'all mics away. That's all.
Appreciate your points. Thank you for sharing that. I wanted just to kind of explain that. Okay, so we were talking obviously about the intimacy, and just to kind of reset the room. We're talking about intimacy without sex, guys, and we're just slightly dipping our toe in the water right now. We're slightly just tapping into men and women and how they might see things lightly. But there were some key things that were mentioned here, and I'll address that maybe in the next part of portion. I want to get the ladies back into the conversation as well when it comes to this intimacy. And I want to ask you ladies as well, do you find the intimacy different dealing with us men than your female friends, your woman friends? Is it different, the intimacy? And if it is different, how so is it different? And if it's not, fantastic, great. Maybe we're doing a great job. But I want to get your understanding of this as well. Christina, I'm gonna come to you. Then I'll come to you winter after. Intimacy for you, is it different